This is TWiT.
Last week, there was a huge Samsung event. I forgot that happened last week. And then this week, I ended up with this flipping phone. And I don't mean that flipping in the way that you think I might be saying
You
it.
got a
I mean,
flipping
this
phone?
really flips.
A flipping phone, Flo?
So, Flo, can I ask you before you get into it, have you been able to use the best feature of that phone, which is to angrily hang up on someone by flipping the phone closed?
Yes.
You have? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Was it with a family member or what? Tell us about the conversation. Why were you angry?
No, it
Ron wants
wasn't.
details.
Well, admittedly, I haven't had a phone call yet, but I have, I've done some social media and dramatically just be like, I'm over this Instagram DM. And just done that.
But I mean, you have to hang up on someone. You have to be like, no, we're done. Goodbye. Flip.
Right. So here's the point I'm trying to make, Ron, which is that in 2021, our flip phone has changed. The meaning of the flip phone.
Oh, yeah?
Has completely changed.
How has it changed?
Well, like I said, now you can angrily hang up on an Instagram DM. If, you don't get that Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you could just hang it up. Stupid game.
How does the hinge feel? Is it sturdy? Does it feel secure? Like, what is it?
So it feels so sturdy, but here's the thing. Remember back in the day, we had our flip phones and you would get it and the flip phone felt like it came fresh off the factory belt. It was smooth and it was a fluid motion, but it wasn't loose. And you're just kind of waiting. You would wait for a little while for those hinges just kind of
wear down.
Sometimes you'd end up with a phone where the hinges would get too loose and then the darn thing just would never stay closed. Ugh. But I'm waiting for this to soften. And I tried really hard yesterday. I was taking photos of it for my review, which I'm working on right now for Gizmodo. And I was trying really hard to open it one-handed. And it takes effort, man. Oh. I do not have that satisfaction that I did back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
But it's actually kind of hard, by the way, to close it without the case. The case that I'm using, which is the signature Samsung case they're releasing. It's a silicone case, fits it very well, and it has a little belt loop on the back, or in this case, this is a keychain, which you can kind of loop your finger through like a pop socket to hold on to it. So this case actually adds a tiny bit of density to it to be able to actually flip it closed. But without it, it takes a little pressure, which is just a further reminder that what is making this phone flip is not a hinge, as in the flip phones of yore, but it's a screen with a bend in it. And I'm very curious how this thing is going to hold up after a year of use. Because
always the consideration with the modern foldables, right? Whether it's justified or not, that is always on the mind of, I would say, the majority of people that either look at them or think about buying one is like, how long is this going to stay okay before that fold becomes an issue?
It's a new form factor. And so I showed it to a couple of folks on video chat last week. And a lot of the folks that gave me the, oh my gosh, reactions were people who had iPhones. And I appreciated that. But then there were also a tiny subset of people in my life who saw this and were like, no, absolutely not. I will not go near it. I refuse. So
I'm first of all, I'm jealous because of the two foldables last week, the flip was the one that I was really excited about. Actually, of all the announcements, the flip was the one that I was like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. I love that they cracked the $999 price point, but I haven't had my hands on one of the. Oh, sorry.
But also not only the price point we were talking about in the pre-show is that with all of the incentives and stuff like that from the different carriers, you could potentially get the price on the flip down to sub $500 to $499.
If you're trading in and stuff. Yeah.
With trade-ins on Verizon, they're offering up to $500 in rebates. Like they're like, yes, it's $9.99, but they're really trying hard to get it as close to $4.99 as possible. So
they want you to know, by the way, that you can trade in all your old stuff. Like they really want you to go around the house, pull up the couch cushions, and like look for any old tech you have around that you could trade in. So
right, you probably have something. So I'm curious, Damien, because you had some hands-on time with both the Flip and the Fold, right?
I did. Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I really like the Flip. I think the Flip is that's the pièce de résistance of the new the Z series, as I would say. But there's just something about it, like you said, Flo. You just kind of want to close it, even though it is a screen. So like the trying to slap it closed like you would, the wrist motion you'd use with an old folding flip phone. You just kind of go like that and slap it around. And maybe I was the only person who did this. Maybe
no, you can do that.
No.
But I found that really difficult to do, and obviously the Samsung reps were like, "Please don't do that." And you can't do that with the Z Flip 3 very easily. The Z Fold 3 felt just. I mean, it's clearly a marquee device, and it's going to overtake the Note line, and that's going to be it makes sense for that to be the Note series moving forward. But the Flip just feels like it almost feels like a turning point for the potential for normal people to take foldables seriously.
Right.
I just hope that the battery holds out. That was my biggest concern. It's got quite a 120 hertz screen, 3,300 milliamp hour batteries. Just that's problematic.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, this is just problematic as a reality TV star and social media. All right, it's got some issues. I'm going to run the official battery test tonight after we get off the phone.
Goodbye. I'm going to hang up now. Going to set the headset down.
After I hang up.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the official battery test tonight, see how that fares, but I am dubious because just from using it, I've noticed that the battery will shrink really fast, especially if you're watching video. And I mean, I've still got some benchmarking and things to do with this device. I love watching video on it, but I'm going to tell you, I barely watch video laying it out this way. In the
you watch it on the front screen, or
I guess this would be the main screen. Let me turn it on the brightness just in case you can kind of see this. But I don't watch video in landscape mode, right? I watch it. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can at least show you guys so you can have a little visual.
For audio listeners, Flo is fumbling with the phone.
Yeah. So here I'm going to do. I'm just going to launch Pluto TV for funsies. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this hinge up. I was watching Pluto Romance last because I was watching Pluto Wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So you watch it. So you watch it in portrait mode in the half screen with fascinating as like a stand.
So you have the 90 degree hinge kind of. It's just awesome, isn't it? It just looks so. That convinced me straight away as soon as I saw that with the original Z Flip, and now this one's just kind of like taking it to another level. But that's awesome for like I've seen people doing it on social media where you can kind of have it at that 90 degrees to take top down photos of your food using Instagram, and that or like holding the phone kind of like I don't even have anything to show you with it, kind of like that, and take the image like that and press the shutter button. That again, to me who is a lazy photographer, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And the thing is like now I'm getting some pushback in the chat for going vertical, but let me explain.
Wow.
That because I don't, so I have really built my life around, and I'm kind of working out my thoughts on all y'all right now because there's a lot that I want to say about this phone, and I'm just not quite sure. Like I have no idea what the thesis is of this thing because it's such a new form factor compared to what I've been using over the last 10 years. So I'm reacquainting myself with a flip phone, but it's a different experience from what I had back in the day in the early aughts. Like, because now I've got a full functionality device in my hands that also can convert in this fun little like pocketable size. By the way, this cover screen, it's like 1.9 inches now, super AMOLED. I mean, they really like beefed it up, and they put this little, like you guys can see, that's my camera right now. I freaking love this ability to be able to take a picture, like a selfie with these, you know, with excuse me, let me start that over again, with the main cameras of the phone. But the bummer is that if my kid is running across, like she was the other day, oh my God, yes, we were in the grocery store and she was pushing the cart by herself. This tiny little toddler was pushing this giant cart of groceries around the grocery store because she's somehow like an Iron Man now or something. She's in a strong mood, but I could not open the phone fast enough to double press the power button and snap that photo or that video. So completely missed moment. I mean, I saw it in my memory, but
that's a good point, though. I mean, how many times do I pull the phone out and I don't need to think about unfolding it? I just tap, tap, snap.
Versus here, okay, so I've got this OnePlus, the OnePlus 9 I've been using, right? I carry it around like this with my pop socket all the time. This is the way that I've sort of trained myself to think about how I'm holding this phone. And so I've developed all these maneuvers, and this is my fourth year using a pop socket. So I'm very trained on this mechanism, and it took me a long time to just get used to swiveling this, how I'm handling it in my hands. There's all these new, I have to evolve to use this phone. I have to evolve.
Well, it's challenging you. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for overall brain health. You know, I'm getting up there into the elder millennial years, so it's good to keep me going. A little gym exercise here and there.
You elder millennial, you.
But in all sincerity, I'll obviously have more to say about it when I finally pen out the entire review. But this is a big decision to make before you switch to it. And I think that's also why Samsung's like, by the way, trade in your old stuff if you want to like try this out, because they really want to encourage you to try it out, since that's the whole premise of this release that they did last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then you're working on the full review. That's going to go up on Gizmodo sometime soon. So everybody should definitely check out your work.
Pray for me
when that happens.
Tomorrow's going to be a very long day.
We believe you.
We know you can do this. You got this.